This is our ninth lesson, and today we are going to learn prepositions. Before I move on, I would like to say that prepositions are very similar to conjunctions. The only difference is conjunctions join two sentences, whereas prepositions join two words. They not only join two words, but they also show a relationship between two words. And today you will learn preposition in pictures. I think this would be a unique experience for you, and you will never forget them because the language of the mind is pictures, and I don't have to explain a lot. I'll show you the pictures and then you will understand. You can stop the video, you can have a look at them, and then you can apply them when you're writing or when you're reading something. Okay, so let's have a look at that. What is a preposition? First of all, look at the definition. A preposition shows a relation between two words, or it can be called a joining word. As I said in the beginning, that this is more like a conjunction. For example, there is a book on the table. Now the word on here shows a relation between the book and the table, or in a way it is joining two words, book and table. Now, although this preposition is a very small word on its own, sometimes it doesn't have any meaning, but without this preposition the sentence would be a nonsense sentence. It wouldn't make any sense. For example, the book is there's a book, the table. So that destroys the balance of the whole sentence. Okay, it takes out the sense or the meaning of the sentence. That's why it is very, very important to use correct prepositions when you're writing something. The use of preposition varies according to different situations and the context of sentence. For example, we could say he sits on the chair, and we could also say he sits in the chair. Now that depends on what type of chair you have. For example, if you have a chair without arms, okay, so just like that straight chair, let me make it. My drawing is wonderful. Okay, so now you are sitting on the chair. Now if a chair has arms, then you are sitting in the chair. So that's why sometimes you would read in for sitting in or on, and you would think, okay, why these two different prepositions for the same act of sitting? Well, it depends on the context. It depends on where the character is sitting, what type of chair it is. So this is what I just mentioned, that it varies according to the different situations. Now let's look at the prepositions in picture form. Okay, my drawing is not very great, so just bear with that. And the idea is to create a picture in your mind. What I do is I would go through all of these and explain each one of them with an example sentence so that you understand. Okay, so let's start because it would take some time. The first one here is on, so I would use this highlighter. Okay, so on means when something is physically touching something. For example, the book is on the table. It means that the body of the book and the table, they are touching each other. So if something is touching, even if it is on the wall, it doesn't have to be, I don't know how to say it mathematically. It doesn't have to be horizontal with the ground or with the table or something. It could be on the wall. As long as it is touching physically, then you have to use the preposition on. The next one is under, okay, or above. Under is exactly under, but it is not touching. Okay, you could see that this dot here is, for example, the cat is sitting under the table, so the cat does not touch the body of the table. Above means anywhere here, not exactly above this. Okay, not right on top of something. So for example, above could be at a height but not exactly over the table. Okay, so for example, if you drop something from here, it would fall onto the ground, not onto the table. and below is below this height but not exactly under. Okay, so for example, if you drop something here, it would fall onto this thing, not on the table. So below and above, they are actually opposite. Under means right under something. For example, if the table's roof falls down, it would fall onto the cat. Okay, in means inside, in a boundary. For example, he is or she is in the class. It does not mean in the middle. It does not mean right in the middle of anything. I mean, this is what most people think. In means inside the boundary. For example, you could be sitting here and you are still in the class. You could be sitting here, you are still in the class, because you are in this boundary. Okay, and in means no movement. So that leads us to the next one, which is into. Into shows movement. For example, she moved into the classroom, or she came into the classroom, which means that she was not in the classroom first, she was outside, and then she came in, she moved in. The next one is over. The kite is flying over the tree. So this is opposite of under. So for example, if the kite falls, it should come onto the tree. It should touch the tree, then it should come down and land on the tree. So that's over and under. Beneath, as I said, is it's under, but it's in the space, in the air, not touching the ground. Okay, so the cat is sitting under the table, so the cat is touching the ground. Yeah, but under this table. But beneath is any space under the table but not touching ground, or you could say between the ground and the table would be beneath. The next one is at. Now at is very, very important. So you need to understand that this is the most commonly used prepositions, one of the most commonly used prepositions. So I am at the door. Okay, not on the door. If it is on the door, it means just like a monkey, you climb on top of the door and then you are on the door. When somebody opens that, they would have to look up. Okay, so I am at the door. At shows a specific location, a specific point. For example, this would be this picture would make it easier for you. For example, if you invite me to your house, and this is London Road, okay, and this is the bus stop, but I couldn't find your house, and I ring you and you ask me where you are, and I would say I am at the bus stop. Okay, and you know, because there is only one bus stop here, you know where I am. Okay, but if I'm standing somewhere here, I mean, it's a 2 miles long road, for example, and if I ring you and you say where you are, and I would say I am on the London Road. Now you have to look at the London Road 2 miles up and down to find me. But if I say at the bus stop, you know where exactly I am. That's why if I say I am at the door, you know where to come. Okay, so if I knock at your door, you know where to come. You know that I wouldn't be climbing up the window. I wouldn't be getting into your house through your window. Okay, so the next one is on the road. I am on the road. So on is I'm touching the road, but it's not a specific location. So these three should be understood together, okay, in context, I would say. So if you are going up, so you are going up the hill, down the hill. It's very simple. Jack and Jill went up the hill. Okay, movement is from one point to another point, shows towards or to. Okay, so for example, he is coming towards the office. Okay, or he's moving to the office. Okay, the train moved to the station. But when the train enters the station, we would say the train entered, the train moved into the station. The next one is away. So for example, if this is the point of reference and you are moving away, this is the office, for example, so I would say he is moving away from the office, from the car, from the building, whatever. Then excuse me, the next one is climb. Now if you jump without touching the wall, you jump over. But if you climb and you touch, you climb over. Okay, Next one is off. It means breaking off a connection. So switch off the light, it means you break the connection. Switch on the light means you undo that breaking off the connection, so the connection is on. That's why when you use I am off to Italy, it means that your connection with London is broken now and you are away. Okay, so no connection. So this is just like that. So switch off the light, the connection is broken. I am off to Italy, it means my connection with London is broken now. Okay, next one is at, in. So this is very important. Once again, at. So for example, if you are sitting in a cinema or if you are sitting in a theater and you are in the first here row, so you are sitting at the front or you are sitting at the back, but you are sitting in the front row when you mention the row. Okay, so I am in the front row. Okay, so that determines that you could be somewhere here, because this is the boundary now. So you could be somewhere here, here, or wherever you could be. But at front means there's only one front, there's only one back. Okay, there's no question about that. It is just like the glass is full, the glass is empty. You cannot say it is more full, or it is almost full, or it is 90% full. If it is 90%, it is not full. Full means 100%. In the same way, there is only one front, there is only one back. Right, so if somebody slaps you here, so it is in the face. So she slapped me in the face, or he slapped me in the face. Now why in? Because it's a boundary. Now the face is a boundary. A certain region inside a boundary is called face. Okay, and in the same way, I have white or gray hair in my head. In does not mean inside the roots, or whatever you could say, inside the skin. In means in this region. This is the region, this is an area, this is a boundary. Okay, so in my hair, in my face. So if you look at this car and this tree, the tree is in front of the car, and let's say if there is another car, so this car would be behind. Okay, so there is a Mercedes behind my car, there is a big truck, you could say, behind my car, there is a tree in front of my car. When you're talking about the time, then you use different types of preposition. For example, in time, so for example 9:15 a.m. is the time. Let's say this is the start of the class time, so you are in time means you came to the class around 9:13 or 14:15. On time means you came to the class at exactly 9:15. Within time also gives you a good time. Like within time means that you were there well before 9:15. So once again we have the use of in and on. So for example, we say in the sky in June. For example, the birds are flying in the sky in June. So I'll speak to you in June. If you talk about the year, in 2012 this thing happened. If you're talking about the past, you could say in the past I made so many mistakes. If you're talking about the season, you would say in winter it is very cold. But when you talk about the days of the week, you don't say in Friday, you say on Friday. Okay, I'll see you on Friday, I'll teach you on Friday. And if you use the date, then you use on as well, on the 16th of May. Okay, now if you are leaning against a wall, so you say against. Okay, so this is a person who is just touching the wall and leaning, so leaning against the wall. This is very interesting. Now if you cross something in a straight line, you go across, so you go across the road. But if you cannot go in a straight line, you go through. So for example, I went across the road or across the street, but you cannot say I went across the forest, because if you walk through the forest, you will have so many trees so many, maybe there's a pond, maybe there's a line, so you cannot tell the line, okay, I have to go straight because my teacher said you have to go across. No, you have to move, you have to. So in the same way, you cannot go across a marketplace because there are so many people moving about. High street, you cannot go across the high street. Why? Because there are so many people. You have to move, you have to maneuver. So you go through the high street, you go through the marketplace. I hope this makes sense. Let's move on to the next. This is the second set of images. So when you are sitting here, let's say this is Laura, this is John. So you are sitting between Laura and John. So when you are sitting between two people, or when something is between two things, then you always use the word between. Now the moon is among the stars. Now among is more than two. Okay, it is the same meaning, but the situation changes. Here it is more than two things. Here it's only two things. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier on, you are sitting on the chair if the chair is like that, but you are sitting in the chair if it has got these arms. Okay, so for example, this is a room, so the whole space here is inside. So you could say inside it is very hot. So it means it is hot in all the four corners of this room, everywhere inside the space and all that. If it is cold outside, then you would say it is cold outside, means it is cold here, 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 everywhere. You can't say that it's cold outside means that only this corner and that two are hot. No, it is all, the whole environment, the whole atmosphere. You sit under a tree. Okay, so under does not mean that you have to dig here and then you have to go. No, under means under the shade of a tree. Basically this is that sense. Okay, things come in my mind. Okay, in my mind I have this feeling or that feeling. So whenever you use something to talk about your thoughts or thinking, then you say in. Okay, when you move from one place to another place, you move from and to. Okay, so he moved from the train station to the football stadium, whatever you could say. Now that is a street, a road, London Road for example, and you're walking here, so you walk along the road. Okay, so this is something, this is a building and you are here, you would say I am near the cinema. Okay, so near does not have to be next to it. It could be anywhere. So it could be here, it could be here. This is all about distance. I am near the cinema means you could be standing here, but you are near. You could be standing here, you are near. Beside or next to is right next to it. Now you cannot be standing here and you say beside. Okay, beside means next to. Right, so this is a window for example, and if the window is closed and you are looking at the street through the window pane, then you would say through. I looked at the street through the window pane. Okay, but if the window is open, then you would say I looked from the window, because now there is no medium in between. So on Friday 1st June at 9. So at one more use of at is that as we have just learned that at is used for specific points or place or things. So that's why at 9 o'clock means you exactly know what time it is. It's just like at the bus stop, you know where you are. At the door, you know where you are. At 9. Okay, so this is exact time. Okay, so we say in the afternoon, but we say at midnight, at lunchtime, on my birthday, at weekends. So these are the prepositions that use with these time things. In the night, so at midnight, in the night, that's the whole time. Particular night, for example, if you say in the night, it means you are referring to a very specific night. In the morning, same thing. In the afternoon, in the evening. But you also say in a moment, at the moment. So in a moment and at the moment means this is the right time. So whenever you're talking at the moment, I am busy. So I will speak to you in a moment means I don't know what moment is that? Maybe after 2 minutes, maybe after 10 minutes. But at the moment is the moment that you're talking. So you are angry at, or you are angry with. Okay, so when you are angry at, it means you are angry at somebody's behavior. You are angry with, it means you are angry with that person. I mean, both things are exactly the same thing, but this is the slight difference, behavior and person. In the same way, you agree with. So for example, I agree with you means you're talking about that person. I agree to your proposal. So I might not agree with other things, but this proposal that you have brought in, I agree to that. Okay, so these are some of the most commonly used prepositions, and I'm sure that you would not forget them. Now here's an exercise for you. So based on whatever you have learned today, stop the video here, and in your notebooks, wherever you want to write, just fill in these blank spaces with prepositions and let me know if you have any problems. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best. Take care and see you next time. Bye.